Today you'll see a dress that's easy to wear, easy to fit, easy to sew, tick, tick, tick. It's for neat fabrics and the one I've chose, I'm so happy with. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from liftingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing, and I've just sewn a dress. It's literally hot off the sewing machine and I have one thing pending that I didn't finish. I will be honest and I'll show you, although you probably won't tell. What I'm talking about is the Everyday's a Weekend dress from Pattern Emporium. This is one that I haven't sewn before. It's not a very old pattern. It's not the newest either, but it's good. It's got the full size range, which is really good. And this is different to other knit dresses. This one has a lot more ease. It's just flowier. It's easy to wear. There's a separate bodice and then two tiers. This bodice can be regular or flared. So the flared option has more ease than the regular bodice, but both have a lot of ease. Necklines, lots of necklines. The rounded necklines are high, mid, and low. V necklines can be a high V and a low V. All of these are finished with neckbands. And one thing that I like is the winter option, which is a roll neck. So this is not a really fitted type turtleneck situation. It's looser and it's big. You can fold it and it's going to be amazing for winter. I am preparing for winter because at the end of the year, I'm actually going to be in the Northern Hemisphere somewhere. I'm not going to disclose. I will be in winter. I'm going to have 3 winters in a row. For these next couple of months, I'm going to be skipping my summer, which is a bummer, but oh well. I get to sew nice winter things. Another thing that's great for winter is that there are a long sleeve option. It's a regular sleeve, just the typical sleeve, you know, it's not hugging your arm, it's not loose either. And on that same pattern piece, you can cut it cap, short, 3/4, and long. Another pattern piece that's a different type of sleeve available is the bishop sleeve, which is the same fit up here, but then it's wider. Elastic casing, it can be at the elbow or full length. So those are the options for the pattern. Now the tiers, you have 2. For each of these, there's different lengths that you can choose from to make it a mini dress, a knee length, or a midi. It just depends on how you combine them. You know, 2 short ones, 1 short one long one. For the midi length, you have to make the 2 longest tiers available, and it's going to end up a lot lower than the knee, which is not an option I'm looking for. I'm always looking for the knee length. One extra little detail that you see in a lot of patterns are inseam pockets. So the pieces are there, the instructions are there. I know a lot of people that sew like those. So they are available. I'm just never going to sew those. Everyday's a Weekend dress is on sale, 50% off through Saturday noon, but in Australia. If you're in this area of the world, I'm in Brazil, so South America, North America, that sort of thing, Friday night. If you go to the site, you'll see the countdown, how many hours left you have in the sale, so that's helpful. I'll leave you my affiliate link in the description box and at the top of the comment section pinned. If you do want to use my link and you click on it and you purchase, you don't pay anything extra. It's just that Kate, who owns and designs at Pattern Emporium, will pay me a commission next month. So that is one way I create an income for myself, making all these helpful sewing videos here on YouTube that you can enjoy without any cost. So if you use my link, I'm super, super duper grateful. This is for knit fabrics. I think the lighter weight fabrics are going to be the best ones here, just because of the design, the amount of ease that we have here, and the gathering features in the tiers. I don't think a medium weight fabric is going to look amazing, my opinion. So I would not go with Ponte Roma, Liverpool, a heavy knit crepe, a heavy cotton lycra, scuba, those type of things. I would not even touch those. Stay with the rayon spandex, modal spandex, bamboo spandex. Those are going to fit looser and end up longer than what you expect. It's just the way that that fabric behaves. I'm not a fan of rayon spandex. I'm not sewing that anymore other than to make pajamas. But a lot of people love that fabric. It's not like you can't sew it. I just don't like it. Then there's the cotton lycra if you want something sturdier. But just make sure it's a lighter weight cotton lycra, not too heavy. And the gathers, they're always just going to look more voluminous with cotton lycra. So it wouldn't be my first choice either. But I'm not saying that you can't use it. Then there's double brush poly, single brush poly, which I think is perfect for this. ITY is perfect. A really lightweight sweater knit would be amazing as well. A rib knit, an athletic knit. For the neckbands though, make sure your fabric has enough stretch and recovery. Sometimes the main fabric that you want to use is okay, but it's not the best thing for the neckbands. So make sure you think about that. Maybe you can combine and do the neckband with another material. I love my neckbands with athletic knits, and I just choose a color that matches. You need at least 25% stretch horizontally, at least 20% vertically, and you'll be comfortable. Although maybe you can get away with a little bit less stretch just because of the ease here. I always think you need to pay attention for the fit around here and the comfort in the upper chest, upper back area. So make sure your fabric is stretchy. Don't make this out of a woven fabric. It's just not going to work. Now let me show you the fabric that I've chosen. It's perfect. It's a double brush poly. I love the colors here. They're autumnal, caramel, military green with brown. It's just so lovely. It's got the stretch required. There is an extra notion that's mentioned in the tutorial, and that is to use clear elastic to the gathering for the tiers. I know a lot of people enjoy that. I actually just do my gathering the traditional way with the sewing machine. I just do gathering stitches and sew it like that, and I don't use clear elastic for that. And my clear elastic isn't stretchy. It's pretty stiff. So I don't really have the quality to even go there. But you could get around with not using it and just doing it traditionally with your sewing machine. It works a treat. Sizes from 4 to 30 Australian, which is the full size range for the newer patterns. Pattern Emporium. 58 3/4 inch hip is the largest measurement for the largest size, although you have a lot of ease in this pattern. I plotted my measurements down there on the chart. This is Australian sizing, and I'm a size 16 Australian at the moment. I checked the finished measurements that are provided there, and at the waist for the regular bodice, not the tapered bodice, you have around 7 inches of ease. The flared bodice has 3 extra inches of ease there, so that's the difference between the bodices. So you want something more trapeze looking with more ease, go for the flared bodice. If you want something a little closer to the body, go for the regular one. So the ease is either 7 inches or 10. So you're going to see it's very loose. It's just put it on, wear it, and be happy. It's that type of style. So considering all the ease here and how I prefer my clothes to fit, I decided to size down one size. I'm sewing a size 14 Australian. I very frequently go down one size, or sometimes I even go up one size. But one size is the maximum I'm comfortable playing with, either down or up. I wouldn't go down further because then I'm compromising the shoulder and the upper bust fit. I want that to be okay. But I would like to have a little bit less ease in general. I think one size is okay. You can get away with doing that. Now the bodice, there's a regular cut line and then the one that's 2 inches longer for someone that has a longer torso or is taller. So there's a regular and the tall cut line for the bodice. I measured the pattern pieces against me, even though I am tall. I might be tempted to just cut the toe, but I know that's going to end up long on me because I have a short torso in proportion to my general height. So I decided to cut right in between the regular and the toe. So mine's actually 1 inch longer than the regular bodice, 1 inch shorter than the toe bodice. You can see me cutting that away. I just measured in between the lines and drew my line following the same curve. And that is the length of my bodice, and it turned out perfect. Other than that, no fitting adjustments, very relaxed like usual at Pattern Emporium. A treat to sew. I'm going to show you just general concepts here of sewing, not the full thing. This is very easy. I decided to do my gathering and my tees first, have a front and a back all done, and then put it all together just like you would a regular knit t-shirt. I decided to do the roll neckline, which is a winter feature, and the long sleeves as well. And yeah, very easy, mostly on the serger. These are some of the pieces for the Everyday's a Weekend dress from Pattern Emporium. I'm making a winter version. So my version has a long sleeve. You can also do a cap, a short, a 3/4 from the same regular sleeve, but there's also a larger piece that's wider bishop sleeve that can be at the elbow or full. So it would be a wide piece like that, but I haven't chosen that. And the necklines, lots of options, rounded, high, mid, low, V, high, low. But for this one, because it's for winter, I've got the roll neck option. So this is a larger piece. It's going to go sewn on there. And for the roll neck, you just cut the highest neckline available. Front and back bodices on the fold. These are the tees. I've got 2 of each. The skirt has 2 of them. So it depends on what length you want, what cut line you're going to choose. I've got the knee length version. So my first tee is a little shorter than this one over here. You can make a mini dress, you can make a midi. There's lots of combinations of lengths that you could choose here. but all of them will have 2 tiers. The first one, of course, smaller than that one. That's the one that's going to be gathered onto the bodice right there. And then this one goes gathered right here. I'm going to do all these gathering stitches as sort of the first step. I'm doing them with the sewing machine just at 1/4 inch from the edge. And then the second row, I'm going to do it at about 1/2 inch because I'm going to use 3/8 to sew these tees onto each other. And I'm going to use the sewing machine for that as well. I'm never the one that's going to do gathering on the serger. It's just not my jam. I'm not going to use notions like clear elastic or elastic. I'm just going to do it the traditional way, and it's always fine. I'm sewing the second tee to the first one on one of the skirts. I'm going to do the same to the other side, and then I'm going to sew the first tee to the bodice. So I'm basically sewing 1/2 of the dress, the front, the other half, the back separately. I go adjusting the gathers as I sew. I'm using 3/8 seam allowance and a narrow zigzag. Okay, here's 1/2 of the dress. This is the front. And now the construction is like sewing a regular t-shirt or any neat top. It's just that the side seams are longer. So now I'm just going to put this back on the top, match up the shoulder seams, the side seams, set in my sleeve. And at the end, I'm going to do the roll neck that comes around here, which is just like sewing a neckband. It's just longer, but it's essentially the same thing. I'm sewing on this rolled neckline, and it's the same as sewing on a neckband. I've divided everything in quarters, and it's the same technique. It's all the same as a neckband, it's just huge. Nothing different, and the pattern has all the marks for you already. This is my Everyday's a Weekend dress. I chose the colors on purpose here. I love all of the colors here. I like the swirly print. You know, I like prints like this. It's not a floral, it's not geometric. It's just a nice print. So dark brown, green, caramel. There's just so many nice colors here. I have my long sleeves with my hem, my roll neckline, my roll neck, which is just like sewing a neckband. There's marks there, you know, the quarters, it just goes perfectly. Double brush poly, so easy to sew. It sort of sticks to each other, so it doesn't move around that much. Very easy. And you see it on, it's not tight. It's not that type of neckline that's gonna prevent you from breathing and feeling comfortable. It's perfectly fine. There is the first tee gathered onto the bodice, the second tee gathered onto the first tee. That's how it looks like. It's very nice. The back is also cut on the fold. And the one thing that I did not have time to do before it was sunset, because I was scrambling for light over here, I didn't do the hem, which is very cheeky. It's just cut, you know. It would have taken me at least 40 minutes more to serge, press up, hand baste, sew the hem in the way that I like to do it. It takes me a long time. By the time I would have finished the hem, it would have been pitch black out there. I wouldn't be able to film this on. So I am going to finish it now after I finish uploading this video. You know, I'm not going to wear my dress without a hem. That is a big no-no for me. I would never do that. It's just not a thing I would ever do. So I'm honest. I'm always telling you what I've done and what I haven't. And yeah, it doesn't really affect the dress. You're going to still see how it fits and all of that. So I'm okay. I will do this hem, I promise. Let's see it on. This is my everyday is a weekend dress from Pattern Emporium. I chose a gorgeous double brush poly. You can see this is a very comfortable fit. There's quite a lot of ease in this pattern. It's supposed to be like that. One thing I have to mention is that I sized down one size. So this is a size 14, but my measurements put me in a size 16 here. I think it's fine. I wouldn't size down further than that. I have a length that's at the mid knee-ish, knee length. I think the bodice is at the correct length, and check out all this comfortable ease. Fits me perfectly. I really like this swirly print. Mine is a winter version, so I have the roll neckline. You can also do regular necklines for summer, rounded V's, all the things, but I love this version for winter with the long sleeves. Of course, there's also short sleeves. This is not a pattern for summer or winter. It can be for anything. I love it on its own, just like this with boots. I think it looks really nice. But you'll see that next I'm going to style it with the belts as well as some jackets. These colors, the caramel, the brown, the green, it's just so lovely. It feels like I'm wearing nothing actually, it's so light. Here it is with a belt, a tan color. It's also in the print. I think it looks really nice. I have some really beautiful booties. And I have a jacket there on my arm that I'm gonna put on right now. I just wanted you to see how this looks like with a belt. I'm gonna wear it with belt and without the belt. When I wear it with a jacket, I will always have the belt because I just feel better that way. And this is a smitten, also from Pattern Emporium. The green goes perfectly. There's green in the print and I think it looks lovely. Love this for autumn and winter for me. Absolutely gorgeous. The best thing is the comfort and the print. I bought this fabric recently and I was very excited to sew it up. And it turned out just like I imagined it would. The roll neckline doesn't really interfere with the type of neckline of the jacket, so I'm happy. Here is another option. I've got beautiful boots in caramel tones that match the jacket as well. You know, my winters are not that terrible, so the linen jackets are perfect for my winter, but I can definitely wear this with heavier things as well. Kept the little caramel belt, of course. Always want that option with the jacket. I think it looks better. When I wear the dress by itself, it could be either or with a belt. It's always optional. I'm so happy with this. Super gorgeous. I'm really going to enjoy this one. I know I'm going to take it with me to wherever I'm going in the Northern Hemisphere in a couple of months. And it's great. You know, the colors are everything. Double brush poly is a perfect winter fabric. But don't be put off because I styled a winter version. Remember, this can be for summer as well. If I wanted one for summer, I would have done a low V neckline and I would have done a shorter length. I probably would have used ITY as well because that's a great fabric for summer. At least for me, when something's loose and there's airflow everywhere, I'm not hot in ITY. And it's easy, you know, you press it once, you never have to press it again. So I would have done that for summer. I would have done a cap sleeve or something. I would have even hacked it to be sleeveless and just add a band right here, which is always something that's easy to do. But I need a winter dress. I don't have many dresses that are for winter, and where I'm gonna be, it's gonna be freezing cold. So this is gonna be great. I'm gonna put a base layer under, some tights, some boots, my coat, and I can still feel nice in the winter with a beautiful dress like this. Make sure you check this dress out. It's really nice, great value, lots of options, and a great price when it's on sale, of course. I'm going to see you again next week over at Lifting Pins and Needles. Until then, have an amazing time. I hope you get some sewing done. I will. Bye.